So this has been kind of interesting to follow. Over the past few weeks, we have started to see Frank Seravalli make appearances on the Bleacher Report YouTube channel. The BR Open Ice Insider Notebook is the show that he has been on. Obviously, we've been eagerly anticipating Frank Seravalli's next full-time media commitment. Seems like Bleacher Report is in there, but he has been removed. Do I want to say removed? Nah, that's the wrong implication there. He ended up leaving Daily Face-Off because his contract expired, so now he's free to do other shows and come over onto things like Bleacher Report. But on the latest edition, 2 days ago, there was a very particular set of comments made by Seravalli that happens around the 21:30 mark of the video clip. I'll leave a link in the description to this video here, and I wanted to refer your attention to the Ask an Insider part towards the end, where a comment from, I can't really read what the comment actually comes from, what the username is. They ask Frank Seravalli, what names should the Red Wings be looking at trying to acquire? This, of course, is a Detroit Red Wings-centered video based off the title and thumbnail, and we're going over Seravalli's brutally harsh comments. So, this video will be linked in the description, as well as this article written and transcribed by Nikhil Parshi on Sportskeeda.com. A broken record. Frank Seravalli calls upon Detroit to bolster their D-core to break into the NHL playoffs. Let's scroll down and read what this piece goes out there and says. After finishing with a 39-35-8 record, the Red Wings missed the playoffs for the 9th consecutive season. They have tried to bolster their roster, but still have a major need yet to be fulfilled. The Athletic recognized signing a top 4 defenseman as a priority for the Detroit Red Wings last month. They are yet to make a major signing. The Red Wings had decent defensive records. They had a 3.16 goals against per game. They came 24th with just 18.94 hits per 60 minutes, while having a high 14.90 giveaways per 60 minutes. Their most offensive D-man, Moritz Seider, had 41 points and a -5 rating on the season. Their most reliable blue liner was youngster Simon Edvinsson. Now, I can't actually... Okay, we can do this. Okay, great. These figures prompted Bleacher Report's Frank Seravalli to assess the needs of Detroit with acquiring defensive strength as priority to emulate teams like the Canadiens and Senators, who made it to the playoffs. This is where we get into what Seravalli actually spoke about on YouTube. The question is, what names should the Wings be looking at trying to acquire? Seravalli says anything that plays defense. Like legit defenders. That's what the Detroit Red Wings need. They have to overhaul their defense. I feel like a broken record saying this. They need to get better on the blue line, and they have not done so to this point. And it can't just be on the young guys to get them there. They need some proper support. I cannot say or stress that enough about the Detroit Red Wings and another team that I don't know how much they really improved this year. How are you going to break through to get past the Canadiens or the Senators, 2 teams that got into the playoffs this year? They're going to have to do that, and they've got a lot of work to do, Seravalli said. So, particularly harsh, I will say. It's not sugarcoating anything about how Seravalli feels in regards to the Detroit Red Wings. The same video is then linked at the bottom here, 21:30 onwards. The Canadiens reached the playoffs, etc., etc. Let's go out there and speak about Stevie Y, because this piece is pretty complete in that it dives into Yzerman's comments about top 4 defensemen after the post-free agency press conference he ended up doing. The most important thing is to find players that fit. What we could use right now is a top 4 D-man, but it doesn't have to be a right shot because we can move these guys around a little bit, but that would be our biggest potential need, Yzerman had said. The Wings have been linked to players like Bowen Byram and Connor Murphy. They also recently have been linked to Jason Robertson, who is an offensive force with some potent defensive skills. Now, here's the thing. Yzerman has been very upfront about stuff this year. It's kind of interesting to see the way that he has responded to some of the discourse and the questions about the Detroit Red Wings roster, what they need and what they have. He has been very upfront in a way that I think some fans might be a little bit not used to. Straight up saying, yeah, like we wanted to sign guys in free agency, but they all re-signed with their old teams. We wanted to make these moves, we wanted to get guys, but we just had no opportunities to acquire them. We couldn't negotiate. Some guys got traded before free agency began. We were crap out of luck. And while it's true that that evaluation is like 100% accurate, it's exactly what happened. We know Sam Bennett, Aaron Ekblad, Brad Marchand, Brock Besser, they all re-signed with their old teams. John Tavares, Marner got traded before the free agency period opened up. We know that that's true. But still, at some point you gotta make your own luck. You gotta be able to force something to happen in your favor. And Stevie Y has not been able to do that outside of some extra around the edges type of signings. Literally around the edges. JVR is first line left wing, listed on Daily Faceoff right now. Will he stay there? Who knows? If Jason Robertson found himself in Detroit, I think he'd be a very good first line winger. But that's a conversation for another day. We also spoke about that yesterday, too. But some of these other guys here, Mason Appleton, brand new addition to the middle to bottom six, he'll be fine. I don't really see too much of a needle-moving type of play from Appleton, but he will be a positive force on the team. And then you have some D pairings that we can dive into that definitely need some work, but I do think that the upward potential of guys like Albert Johansson, Simon Edvinsson, and Mo Seider can continue to provide value to this team. That's not even to say Axel Sandin Pellikka, because he also can realistically get a spot on this D pairing system next year as well. I just kind of wonder, though, You got three guys who are reasonably fine. Seider is good, Edvinsson was very reliable, Albert Johansson got better as the season went on. You love to see that. But Ben Sherratt, Jacob Bernard-Docker, and Justin Hall, they don't inspire much confidence. Now, I know Sherratt is a player who actually can inspire confidence depending on who it is that he plays with, and if you give him less minutes, I do think that Sherratt still can do decently okay. Not even decently well, but decently okay. JBD, I'm not really too sure on him. He kind of had a really strange career up until this point with Buffalo and Ottawa. And then Justin Hall is Justin Hall. So if Axel Sandin Pellikka can come in and actually beat out any of these guys on the right side, I do think that that helps the Red Wings D-core pretty well. Not that I'm saying that Axel Sandin Pellikka is going to be the savior of the team in 2025, 2026, but I do think there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to gain for him. So, while it's true, this Red Wings team could use a top four defenseman, having another one will be very beneficial to this roster. I don't think it's as harsh as the way Seravalli is portraying it on his BR Open Ice show. Like, the Red Wings need anybody that plays defense. They need to overhaul that defense. They need to get better on the blue line. I'm a broken record saying this. It is pretty harsh, honestly. But I do think that Albert Johansson, Edvinsson, and Seider together as a young three can indeed provide some extra support that is maybe necessary in this case. Like, I do think those guys are all just going to continue to get better. I don't know if sophomore slump is really going to apply here. So ultimately, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Frank Seravalli's assessment of the Detroit Red Wings D-core. Do you agree with it? Of course, I think we can say the Red Wings do need an extra defenseman, but is it that dire? Is it that bad? They need to overhaul the defense. Is that the case here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.